What up, peeps and peepettes? MorbTron back today with more Warframe, and today we are doing a no Forma weapon build on the Amprex. So, if you're like me and you're newer to the game, and this newest patch has you all in a tizzy over beam weapons, and you bought yourself an Amprex because people say that's the best one to use, and you want a build that takes no Forma and actually does a ton of damage, look no further than this right here. So it's pretty lackluster. I don't have any primed mods on it. There's no ribbon on it because I am newer to the game myself, and that's what this video is for. So if you're just getting into beam weapons, you don't have a ribbon, might not even have a ribbon at all, you don't have any primed mods, this is what you can go for. It's a corrosive speed trigger build. I could have put one more into my Serration, but I literally don't have the endo to do that right now. So, to max out the build, I guess you can put one more into Serration. And you could do something a little bit different too. You could go for a dual stat, or a dual status, and instead of speed trigger, have, or even hammer shot, have something like, you know, Hellfire or something in there, or Wildfire even, if you want to go with a dual stat mod. But this is the build that I like to use the most. Speed trigger on this thing is amazing. Really increases the damage output by quite a bit. You know, some people might say go for more status, go for a dual status, you know, go for a higher crit. But being able to increase the fire rate by 60% of the weapon increases the times per second that you can get a crit or a status. So it is kind of a buff to those in and of itself. Now, you're not going to get like the super high crits by having over 100% crit chance or anything. You could take a crit kitty with you if you wanted to. But that's kind of not what this build is about. So we're going to take this into a survival and kind of show you what this build can do. Alright, and here we go. So I switched to Oberon because I wanted a frame that I didn't really have to use any of its abilities on to stay alive other than the heal, to mostly just show off the weapon. So the weapon itself, you know, it does its arc damage, and it does a little bit of an AoE, so you can get, like, the multi-status going on. You know, basically stunning multiple people at once. It's just ripping through these enemies. And now this is a later on mission. Like, they're starting out at level 30. They'll probably get up to about 40 or so pretty quickly when it starts to scale. I mean, this... I'm in love with this weapon. It just cuts through enemies, and if they have armor, it's gone in the matter of just a few seconds. With the amount of corrosive procs that you get with the fire rate that this weapon has with this mod selection, their armor's just gone. Just poof. No more armor for you. And when enemies get in a straight line, they're done for. There's no punch through with this weapon, but when they're grouped up like this, they get multiple status effects spread throughout because the weapon kind of does a slight AoE effect. Its main damage is only on your current target. In the way that they changed beam weapons, the damage does take a little bit to ramp up if it's a healthier target. Like if we get a Nox here, hopefully soon. Was expecting to get a Nox, maybe not right away within the first 5 minutes, but definitely once we get closer to that 10-minute mark, we should probably get a Nox. See, they're already at 31, and that's just the base soldiers. Yeah, it's a great weapon that I've used to level up a lot of frames that I've been using Forma on. Things of that nature. Recently unlocked Mirage, which I've been having a ton of fun with. And I'm planning on doing a no Forma build on her for tomorrow. So if you're interested in that, be sure to check back in tomorrow for that. Oh, this weapon. It's got to be my new favorite primary. I mean, yeah, the heck is good, and You know, my Tigris is really good, and so is my Soma Prime. But the amount of damage that this beam weapon can pump out is god tier. Now I do have one Forma into it, but I wasn't using that slot. And this thing is just going to get even more powerful the more Forma you put into it. The amount of damage that I've seen people do when they have 8 Forma or 7 Forma into it is ridiculous. I mean, granted, that's a lot of resources to pump into one weapon, but if it's a primary that can take you through the most difficult content in the game, it's worth it. So, I unlocked this weapon with Platinum. Jeez. Okay. Hurried up and died quick. Just because I wanted to get on the beam weapon hype after the buff. And I figured, why not just go for the more powerful one right away? Rather than fiddling around with some of the weaker options or some of the less popular options. I was really interested in the AoE effect that this weapon has. And the possibilities that you can put into it with like a dual stat or dual oof, like if you have corrosive and fire, but that'll come later when I have some more Forma into the weapon. Right now I'm just kind of enjoying the possibilities that the weapon has, just with no Forma or one Forma. I actually got to farm for more Forma. I'm running out. But there we go. We're running out of ammo. So I mean, use a carrier if you want to primarily use this weapon, and not use any abilities. This is a weapon where, I mean, I'm at the level of content that I'm currently like trying to get through. This isn't the first time I've done this mission by any means, but it's the first time I've done it solo. And I don't feel like I'm in any sort of danger whatsoever. I mean, granted, I'm going to have to start using abilities now because I'm running out of ammo. But that healthier target, just done for. I'm actually going to... Let's use some abilities here and hopefully get some ammo. Actually, let's switch to my secondary. My secondary also does work. It's a Sikaris Prime. Which is probably my favorite secondary in the game. There's also no Forma on this either. But, you know, this came with a Prime pack. And by the time somebody already has a Sikaris Prime or they're able to get it, they're probably going to have Forma to spend on it. But let me know if you guys want me to do a no Forma build video on this weapon. That might kind of be my MO going forward with... Warframe for a while. Ooh, I had a Phoenix Renewal proc there. Since I am newer to the game, I can't provide, like, end-game builds for things. But I can provide, you know, starter builds, or no Forma builds, or very small amounts of Forma builds.
Consider extraction. Life support activated.
Alright, how much ammo do I have for this? Zap, zap, zap.
Life support on the way.
Zappy, zap, zap. I'm calling it right now. This is the best primary in the game. Point me in a direction of a better primary. Please. Oh. I mean, it does AoE, does AoE status. Oh, that jerk took it away from me. Give me back my Amprex. Higher level targets or healthier targets just melt. They're just done for. They're at 35 now. Even the regular troopers are taking, you know, a little bit longer than instantaneous to kill. Oh, there we go, a heavy gunner, and it's dead. Level 35 heavy gunner. What heavy gunner? And there's that. Another heavy gunner, and you're dead. Best weapon. I mean, if you guys can come up with a better, or, you know, an alternative no Forma build, you know, maybe you prefer status chance versus, you know, firing rate. But personally, I think the fire rate just lets you put, like, just more status into things than having, like, you know, 5% extra status. Or even, you know, 50% extra status. The fire rate is just absurd on this thing. I know you could go for higher crits and, you know, get orange and red crits on it if you have a crit kitty and a high crit build. But that would take some mods that, personally, I just don't have. I already have a crit mod on it. And a crit damage mod. So, having more into it would kind of be really hard for me right now. We're almost at the 10-minute mark. We're going to try to get some more ammo for this thing here quick. Gonna get more ammo.
The longer you fight, the more successful we will be.
There we get a little bit more ammo. I'd like to have a Nox to chew apart with this thing. Oh, we'll just have to settle for heavy gunners, I guess. Take a lesion to the face, my friend. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think of the no Forma build for this weapon in the comments section. And like I said, tomorrow there will be a no Forma build for Mirage going up. Very fun frame. I've been having a lot of fun with her. Have about half of her parts for Prime. So, I'm going for that as well. That'll definitely be fun. I've been avoiding putting Forma into Mirage just because of that, because I already have so many Prime pieces for her. We'll see what happens. But that is going to be the end of this episode, everybody. So, if you liked this episode, if you liked the build, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel, you want to see more of my daily content, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. If you have anything to say, you know, if you have any suggestions for my no Forma builds, weapons to look at, frames to look at for that, leave that in the comments section down below. Do not forget, have a good day, everybody, and I'll catch you all next time.